a year for each employee in our system. That's more than bus drivers. I know bus drivers really done a great job rallying the troops and voicing their concerns, but there's a lot of other non-certified employees in the system. And I think we figured that is a little over $400,000 cost, basically. And that's due to the, again, health and care premium increase that's been put off the last couple of years. So that's a pretty good lick to the budget. And when I left last week, they said you probably can look at that the next couple of years, few years.
Can we looking for what?
Another $150 increase or something to that effect again next year. So you kind of do that math. And that's an unsustainable pattern. We're in better shape than most folks, so I don't know what some of these other systems are going to do. And I just wanted to mention that as far as the budget. A couple of other things, House Bill 170 has gotten a lot of press. The update on that is they restored all the fuel, all the combinations of this percentage, or be able to try to get your commissioners to levy an excise tax. Basically, what they've done is put all that back into your next e-splosh. The only caveat to it is the next e-splosh you'll have to designate, look back 3 years, get a 3-year average, and you don't have to have that as a line item. You're going to spend X amount of dollars over that 3-year average toward transportation, which looking at last year's amount was about a little over $520,000. Of course, that varies a little bit, but we'd take 3 years worth of that number, and that's what we'd have to spend on transportation over the life, each year over the life of the 5-year e-splosh. The good news of that is they have expanded the definition of transportation purposes as it stands now. Again, until the session's over with, all this could change, but the Constitution says that you can't spend e-splosh dollars on personnel and fuel, which that's our big ticket items. But they have expanded that definition in House Bill 170 to include fuel and personnel. So to not cost us money, we would simply move the money around as far as we have to spend this e-splosh money, but we would simply spend it on fuel or whatever we wanted to have as a line item and adjust our overall budget and reduce Mr. Thornton's budget by $520,000. Well, it's a wash to us. But anyway, that's the update there. Really, the only other
Before you go ahead to the next item, though, I'm not really speaking for the board, but I think that, I hope they would agree that finding the money to include for the professional personnel, that I think that's a good thing. I know with the superintendent that's been difficult, but I think it says a great deal about us when we say, well, we agree that should happen.
I agree 100%. We certainly need to take care of our folks. I just wish the state would help us out a little bit with that. But I agree. We certainly didn't want to leave any of our folks uncovered out in the cold. The only two other pieces of legislation I wanted to mention, one of them that's picking up a lot of steam here at the end is the House Bill 243, which is the Education Savings Account, which is that's sheep in wolves' clothing. If you ask me, it's a voucher bill is what it is, and what they're trying to pass is where they're going to take, they call it the backpack bill. They want to take each student's money, per student, whatever it comes out to, all the money out of the different areas that a student costs, and they're going to put that in the checking account, and that parent will have the ability to draw that money out to educate their child if they're not in the public school system, if they want to attend a charter school or a private school or even a homeschool. Right now, even outside tutoring is listed in there. So there's a lot of uncertainty with that. It does nothing but drain our coffers. I can tell you the light bill gets no cheaper if we have, he has 1,400 students in Wayne County High Schools, and he has 1,300 students in Wayne County High School. If you take 100 students worth of money, the state out of the budget, that's a pretty good lick, and we struggle to overcome it. But anyway, that's concerning. Another piece I'll just mention it. I'm not concerned about it personally right now. Is that the Opportunity School District legislation? They have we have it moving forward to amend the Constitution, where the state will be able to take over school districts, appoint a new superintendent that will come in and appoint whoever else he wants to run the school system, and that superintendent would answer directly to the governor. Is who they would answer to. I really don't think they're coming to Southeast Georgia. Is one thing. The other thing is these school districts that they're targeting are schools are with CCRPI scores of less than 60. Now, we don't have any schools in our system that have a CCRPI score lower than 60. Which is good. They're not messing with us much. I think they already kind of know the 20. I think they said the number's 20. I think they already know the 20 schools they're planning on going in. The confusing thing is they already have the ability to go in and take over schools. They had that back when No Child Left Behind was in place. Needs improvement. I sent folks in. I just didn't see that change a whole lot. But anyway, so that's something to watch and see what comes out of it specifically. One last thing, they're still changing things. I know we've talked a little bit about A squared, and we do have to make that decision where to go, status quo, A squared, or charter system. They've changed the names of, it's no longer A squared, it's no longer status quo, and I forget the name, but it's changed. So it's nothing a whole lot. They continue to change it, but the name's changed. Just like it's no longer the Georgia Performance Standards, it's the Georgia Standards of Excellence. So that, if you see some of those changes, just be aware, it's basically just name changes. But we'll continue to watch it, keep you abreast of those types of things. Any questions? I know that's a lot, but that's what I found out last week.
Does Georgia High School still for high school graduation test?
That's moving forward as far as no longer having to pass that, and we'll have to figure out how we're going to manage those, because we have a large amount of students that have satisfied the graduation requirements as far as Carnegie units, but still lack one or more parts of the graduation test. Those folks would qualify for a diploma. Of course, there's a process. They're not going to be able to just go to the front office at the high school, pick up their diploma. We'll have to put something in place where they're able to apply for it. We'll have to verify it and go through. That's going to be a arduous task that we'll have to kind of work through. But yeah, that's moving forward. I don't look for that to meet much trouble along the way. Probably a good thing.
Are you looking at a vast majority of students?
Not a vast majority, but we go back, what year, does anybody recall? It goes back.
99.
We actually had the first parent come to school today who has a child who was graduated, I think she said 4 years ago. And she was asking what the process was.
It goes back a good ways.
I've had a person from 99, class of 99.
99, that's what she thinks.
Whose responsibility is it to inform, I'm sorry.
No, and that's in the legislation. We'll have to advertise it, and there's some stipulations for us to advertise, and they have to apply. Again, we'll need some time to verify it.
Yeah, I guess let me be more specific in my question. Whose responsibility is it? Our responsibility to inform the public, the parents of
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're
We'll
saying
be able
yes.
to notify them exactly how and when we're handling it, and what the situation is, that they can now apply for their diploma. There'll be some folks that are not aware of that.
Exactly.
Any other questions on that? All right, next time, you ready?
Yes.
I just wanted to mention the Affordable Health Care Act compliance. That's something we've really been discussing as a system for the last year. There's a major concern with substitutes as far as managing hours with Affordable Health Care Act. If an employee makes over 30 hours, I think it's 32 hours. 30 hours, 32. 32 hours in a week, we're supposed to offer, health care, or they can go to the exchange. Well, managing that, when you have a person who's a substitute trying to keep up with them and track them through our system, because we have substitutes that work at, they may work at 5 or 6 or 8 schools in a month's period, and if they go over those hours, they can actually fine us. Ms. Williams and I met with a group, Kelly Services, and they're strictly a management group that manages subs. They would handle everything for us. Of course, there's a cost to it, and I mention it now because obviously it's a budget item. But I would like to have them possibly come. I think we've talked to them about coming on the 24th and doing a presentation where just to kind of explain to you what we have. Just very concerned for us keeping up with the subs, and they have some other things they can do for us. It would alleviate some of the strain. Ms. Denny spends a lot of her time chasing subs, trying to get them trained. On top of the hours, that was the thing when I met with them. They do have a professional development type element to the service where they try to get higher quality subs in your schools. And it's just tough for us. We just don't have the manpower to improve that. We're looking to get warm bodies at times. I mean, we're doing professional development system like we've done in the past, and Mr. Adams has got 11 subs for the day. You're lucky to get folks in there. But that would also do, they manage it so that there's no more secretary, administrator tied up in the morning trying to get subs, handling it. It's all, they have software, I think ESOP is the name of it, software where they assign it, and it takes some of that workload off of us where we could be more efficient at the school size as well as the county office. So that's something that I've asked them to come possibly the 24th and do a little presentation for you to consider once we get into budget study a little further. Any questions on that? I just wanted to mention that. These are the same policies that we tabled them last time. Are there any questions about the policy, anything we need to go over? Or if not, I think these are for approval.
I think that some of us had not actually had an opportunity.
Right.
Didn't have
So if there's any questions now, I'll entertain my Dr. Smith. I think she might say that, but I'll
I'll make a motion that we approve the policies as written. Second.
Move in second. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Davidson?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're going to go into executive session. And this is what we are allowed to discuss, will discuss in the executive session. Right, to discuss or deliberate upon the appointment, employment, compensation, hiring, disciplinary action, or dismissal, periodic evaluation or rating of a public officer or employee, or to interview applicants for the position of superintendent.
I move that we go into executive session.
Second.
Moved and second.
Dr. Williams?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ellis?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Davidson?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Williams? Yes, ma'am. Mr. Sanders? Yes.